Another wave of arrests over logging blockades. Liao to meet MH370 relatives group. Hi, I'm Daniel Al-Bakri with Cuppa News. Five Orang Asli activists have been detained following the dismantling of a logging blockade in the Bala Forest Reserve near Gua Musang, Kelantan. Lawyer Siti Kasim put up a video on her Facebook page this morning showing four-wheel drives carrying Kelantan Forestry Department officers heading towards the forest reserve. She later posted that the logging blockade in Simpang Pete had been demolished. Siti told the Star TV in a phone interview from Gua Musang that the five detained activists came from a number of different Orang Asli villages in the forest reserve.
I'm waiting for my lawyer friend Roger to arrive before I actually go to the Jabatan Perhutanan office and check whether the boys are there or not. Because we heard that they intend to take the boys out of the jurisdiction, which we don't understand why. By right, they should take to the nearest jurisdiction judge, which is in Gua Musang. But of course, within 24 hours, they must take to the court, right? If they want to remand them.
The Orang Asli community in the Bala Forest Reserve set up the blockades last year to stop logging. But the structures were dismantled by the Forestry Department and more than a dozen were arrested in November. Despite this confrontation, the blockades were later rebuilt. Transport Minister Datuk Sri Liao Tiong Lai said he will meet relatives of flight MH370 passengers in Perth after being lobbied by a group representing families of those lost when the Malaysia Airlines plane vanished in 2014. Cheryl Keane, a supporter of the Voice 370 group, delivered dozens of letters from relatives to Liao, asking him to resume the underwater search which was called off last week. Earlier, Liao reiterated that the search would only be restarted if there is credible new evidence pinpointing MH370's location.
So far, we have collected about 25 pieces of debris, 3 confirmed MH370, 5 most certainly MH370, and the rest is still under evaluations. So we'll continue to work on the debris and work with all the countries concerned, all the coastal countries along South Africa, Mozambique, Mauritius, Madagascar, and the rest of the countries. So we are committed to continue with the search for the debris, and from there on we hope we can get more credible evidence of the search of MH370.
The minister was speaking to reporters at the port city of Fremantle, where he was joined by counterparts from China and Australia to welcome ashore crew members from the Fugro Equator, the last ship to leave the search area off Australia's west coast. No trace of the plane has been found in the 120,000 square kilometer designated search zone. Meanwhile, on the sidelines of a regional security forum in Singapore, Defence Minister Datuk Sri Hishamuddin Hussein urged Myanmar to reach out to the Rohingya minority group and resolve the crisis.
It needs to be resolved. We cannot sweep it under the carpet. It affects a lot of Muslims and it's very emotional. I really do not have any solutions as yet. But I've always believed in the basic good of the people of Southeast Asia, of ASEAN.
Earlier, Myanmar's Deputy Defence Chief Rear Admiral Miant Nue told the forum that his government was committed to address the issue and punish wrongdoers, but needed time and space. More than 66,000 Rohingya have fled to Bangladesh to escape a military crackdown in the North Arakan state, bringing accounts of rape, arson, and mass killings at the hands of security forces. After several years of forging documents such as MyCards, passports, and driving licenses, a syndicate called Gang Tuah was busted by the police in Ipoh last Friday. Perak CID Chief SAC Datuk Gian Tien Ki said 5 members were arrested, including the group's leader who calls himself Tuah.
Apa yang merisaukan kita ialah dokumen-dokumen yang kita rampas adalah dokumen original. MyCard, daftar pendaftaran JPJ, rucksack, pasport dan beberapa lagi dokumen kerajaan yang original.
3 luxury vehicles believed to be cloned cars were also recovered. The police have identified more members of the group, and are in the process of locating and arresting them. Separately, 5 people, including a woman aged between 20 and 30, have been remanded for 4 days over the assault of a lorry driver at a condominium in Bukit Antara Bangsa. Selangor Deputy Police Chief Deputy Commissioner Muhammad Fuad Abdul Latif said the suspects were nabbed in the wee hours of Sunday in Kepong, Kajang and Negeri Sembilan. Meanwhile, another video has emerged showing 3 men roughing up a security guard at the same condominium. Footage shows distinct similarities, such as the light-colored car parked in front of a metal barrier next to a yellow road divider. In the incident on January 14th, Nazrul Faizul Fahmi was brutally assaulted by several men after he accidentally backed his lorry into a parked Mercedes-Benz. The 25-year-old was left with bruises on several parts of his body and a gash that required 13 stitches on his neck. Angered by the attack, a group of about 200 lorry drivers gathered in solidarity at the Sungai Besi toll plaza on Sunday, shouting slogans against the attackers and clamoring for their arrest. Amid the floods in Kelantan, villagers were shocked to see shrouded corpses and tombstones floating in the water near the Kampung Kubur Datuk burial ground in Tumpat following a 3-day downpour. According to village head Rosli Muhammad Noor, the corpses were recently interred. The dead were reburied as soon as the floodwaters subsided and the tombstones were repositioned. Meanwhile, the respite in rain for more than 12 hours since Sunday saw a reduction of the number of evacuees. A total of 3,370 people remain at evacuation centers from the 6,000 people reported on Saturday. Samsung Electronics indicated on Monday that its latest flagship Galaxy S smartphone could be delayed as it pledged to enhance product safety following an investigation into the cause of fires in its Note 7. Wrapping up its months-long probe, the world's top smartphone maker said faulty batteries from 2 suppliers were to blame for the failure of the Note 7, which wiped $5.3 billion off its operating profit. Millions of people in Beijing joined the world's largest annual mass migration to travel back home for family reunions ahead of the Chinese New Year. The 40-day travel frenzy began on January 13th and will last until February 21st. State broadcaster CCTV reported that about 9.2 million train journeys were expected to be made across the country on Monday alone. A video showing a group of women performing an a cappella version of a song titled Quiet at the Women's March in Washington, D.C. has gone viral. According to the songwriter, Milk, the singers in the video hailed from different cities and they practice online through Skype. The song has been dubbed the anthem of the Women's March movement. And that's a wrap for Cuppa News. Thanks for watching and good night.